everybody, what's up, what's going on? We are back for another power recap. Guys, make sure that you subscribe if you're not subscribed, and also make sure you turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And y'all know I got another channel, Samore Love TV. That's for like my beauty videos and stuff like that. So if you're into that stuff, you can check it out. So it starts off with a bang, honey child. So Kane is over here busting through, robbing churches. I'm like, really though? I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I know Monet did not approve this message. There's no way possible, because that would bring too much smoke and heat. And of course, I was correct. She did not approve of it at all. It's actually him being rebellious because he was mad about that beatdown that his daddy got him, and he was embarrassed about what he did to his mother. So this was his way to kind of act out, you know what I'm saying? Like a little kid who does something wrong, and now you just gonna keep on going down a wrong path. And so that's what he was doing. He was out like hiding out at his girl house or whatever, and Diana ended up finding out where he was. She reached out to him. She said they needed him for like a drop or whatever. So he ends up saying that he would be there, you know, like guaranteed, but he didn't want his mother knowing where he was at. But he ends up getting caught out there because one of the people that was at the like one of the church people ended up seeing his tattoos. Boom, 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 knew exactly who he was. See, that's the good and bad about tattoos. Tattoos can definitely be an identifier, you know, especially if you're trying to be out here running crimes. Don't be having tattoos on your face, your hands, or anywhere that you can be easily identified. If you want to have something heavy where you could cover it up, you know what I'm saying? Not promoting crime at all, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do something, be smart about it, you know? So it's actually sex week on campus. And everybody is just having a grand old time. I mean, it was very fitting for what was going down in this episode. Jabari, now he needs a favor from Carrie. It was something along the lines of his book, but she wasn't really with it. She seems like she's trying to more so distance herself from him and more keep it at a professional, because she already knows she goes down that dark, slippery slope with him. So she's trying to maintain professionalism, especially after she's seen him in his room with that new chick. It's like, I think that was kind of like an eye-opener for her, because she was that person. That's how it all started with her. But, he actually got jealous because he seen her consoling Tyreek because he did not get the canonical studies fellowship. He wasn't one of the 5 that were chosen. So he seen that and he's like, why she all touching up on his arm like that? You know, he was being like a real I Spy about it. Just kind of watching in the wings and getting vexed because I guess he mad that she ain't coming to him to get none. So he like, well, she's a sex freak, so who's she going to get it from? And this is sex week on top of that. Something ain't right here. She doing somebody somewhere. Carrie was having a whole lot of fun with Zeke though. Little did he know. The funny thing about it is he's getting so caught up in everything. See, I feel kind of like perhaps she's being Jabari, but perhaps the girl version, maybe. I don't know. You know, we haven't really seen the full extent to their relationship and how she got to where she was at, or, you know, if they were both sex addicts, or if he helped to, you know, pull her into that world. We don't really know the full extent of the story, but she's definitely bringing Zeke into it, and he's kind of seems like he's starting to get fall for her, you know? She's like, no, go party, go have fun, you know, be around people your age, and he's all talking about I would like you to meet my auntie. What? Dude, are you talking about the same auntie that we know, Miss Monet? Monet Sahara? bro, that's not a good idea. Like, maybe he don't know the full extent of his aunt, because, I mean, at the end of the day, she does try to keep certain things away from him. She wants him to focus on his schoolwork and just kind of being the star athlete of the family and things like that. So I get it, but like, dang, you know, and he's kind of taking it the wrong way if he even feels like that was something that he could bring up, you know? Like, she's your professor or a professor at the school that you go to. She can literally lose her job. I mean, yeah, he's probably of age because this is college, so it's a little different, but you're still not supposed to get involved with the students as far as I know. So yeah. Jabari ends up coming over to her house the same time that Zeke was there, but Zeke was more so just kind of chilling, about to go into the shower and get washed up so he can go do what he gotta do. Over here comes Jabari knocking on the door, trying to come chill with her. She's like, we don't do this. Like, when I said professional, I meant professional, not we're gonna do the same things that we used to do. See, he's like, but we're friends. No, you're trying to be friends with benefits. You already know how this gonna go. You know what week it is. You know how it's gonna go. That's why you're trying to be slick. Pop through with they gave us some free food from our old spot. Let's bring back the memories. Let's turn on some old music. Let's turn on some old videos, and let's get down and dirty while we eat this food. We already know what you trying to do, bro. We know what you trying to do. You know, probably if she didn't have that good young stuff, she probably would have been open to the invitation. But she good. She don't need him. She's not hungry, you know, in every sense of the word. She's not hungry right now. So I was just kind of like, yeah. She was like, you know, I'm good. But then he noticed, he saw the little school condoms on the table. He noticed the basketball game playing. He also noticed the shower turning on, so he turned vexed, man. He was mad. He left in a rage to his car, started writing up some shit, ripped up Tyreek's name, because boom, he's assuming that it's Tyreek. He even offers Tyreek later on some extra credit to write a romance type of story about him and a love interest, something along those lines, and says that this assignment could possibly help him to get into the fellowship. And he says you have to write about the nature of the power of this interest. So you have to really go deep into it. And I feel like he's more so doing this for two reasons. He's trying to see if he can find out some more stuff about Carrie, as well as he's trying to get more content for his book. Because that's what he did with dude's last story. Took his paper and turned it into his new book that he's writing. So yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of everything. But he better put that boy in the thing, because he's trying to get out of there early so he can make this money. You know what I'm saying? So don't be playing with him, because Tyreek don't play like that. You don't want to be on his doodle list. For real. Now, Jabari even had the audacity to later on confront Carrie and, you know, her sexual escapades and things like that, and accuses her of sleeping with Tyreek, and she's just like, stay out of her business. And he put out a little note there, and she's like, that's actually what you're doing. You're sleeping with your students, and I will go ahead and report you if need be, you know, to put a little halt to your little job here. So yeah, just kind of letting him know that she means business and she's not one to be messed with, because she knows a lot about him. You know, if he's trying to be grimy, like, okay, we can be grimy out here in these streets. Braden's brother Trace, he ends up telling Tyreek about Riley and him being in the room. He kind of like slips up and mentions it casually. You know, I don't know what little sick thing you got going on here, but keep me out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what y'all doing. I seen you in my room with my brother's girl the night of the party. And, you know, it kind of opened Tyreek's mind, because he didn't even know all of that was going down. Because remember, she slipped him a little bit of drugs with his drink. And yeah, that's when he had passed out. So he don't know half of the stuff that went down. That's why you gotta watch your drink, especially when you're in school. You would mostly think that it would be women that have to watch their drink, but nowadays everybody gotta watch their drink because you don't know who's out to do what to who, you know, and call it an accident. So he ends up seeing Riley walking and follows her to see where she was going, and she was actually going to her trial for her marijuana charge that she had picked up because she had like 20 ounces on her. So once that happens, she says that she was just waiting for her uncle, which is the person that's going to be representing her. She kind of slipped up and said that, but she tried to fix it real quick. But you know, the thing about trials is that for the most part they're public, so anybody could just come and sit down and kind of watch, observe, or whatever, which is good for, you know, law students or people that are really intrigued by law, maybe people that are just lonely or have nothing better to do with their time. They can just kind of sit down and watch different cases. So boom, 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 Tyreek was sitting down in the back of the court and he sees Sax. So now he knows that there's some funny business going on. So he decides, instead of telling Braden the real truth, tell him the truth that to lead him to believe that his girl is wrong. Even though it's not the real truth, it's still opening your eyes that she's a shady little bitch that's lying to you. So what he ends up telling Braden is that your girl tried to hit on me twice. She tried to do it the first time in your brother's room at the party. I was wasted. I didn't even know. She was pushing up on me. And the second time was here in the room when we was playing chess. So, you know, initially Braden didn't want to believe him. He calls him all these names and stuff, you know, just like, I think it was the shock of, damn, this is the girl that I'm finally really liking, and she likes me, and she's real cool. She's white. She shares my interests. And now it's like, you know, this is going to put a monkey wrench in our relationship. So I guess he said, yo, you could even ask your brother. Like, he saw us coming out of that room together. Like, it's real. Once that happens, he ends up, even though he told Tyreek that he was lying and stuff, he ends up asking his brother. His brother actually confirmed it. So when he went to Riley and asked her about it, she just kind of was like, well, that's a lie. And she didn't really do anything to, or say anything that could kind of defend herself or say a reason why she was in there, because obviously she's holding secrets. So that's when he goes on to say, if you can't love someone if they don't tell you the truth, right? And she couldn't really say anything after that. So I'm pretty sure that's the end of their budding little relationship. But the thing about it is, I know that she really did like him. So she's probably going to be more so, I mean, if she's not the brightest, and she's not the brightest button out there. So she could try to use this as fuel to see if she can find anything else, like maybe going to the parties or whatever. You know, now this is her time to have a vendetta against Tyreek for real. Before, she just was trying to do biddings for her uncle, but now it's like, yeah, now she's probably going to really be tight. Anyway, so Tyreek, he goes to see Lauren, and they were like flirting with each other, you know, sex week. They were flirting in the room, and of course, the funny thing about it, some guy came through some condom sex week, woo! And she was like, they were flirting. She was on top of him, like, you know, just playful and all that. In walks her boyfriend, the one that's like in Georgia. Like, what the hell are you doing here every single episode, bro? Like, what's up? You know? And then he's over here being mad creepy, taking pictures. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm trying to show you so you can have memories of you trying to throw away your future. I'm trying to save you. Like, get out of here. Are you her dad or are you her freaking boyfriend? Because right now you're giving me dad vibes. I guess that's why her family loves him so much. But at that point, she was just kind of over him, and they broke up. Sax, he ends up reaching out to Paz in order to get her testimony and stuff like that. And she really didn't want to entertain it initially, but, you know, of course, he uses the law and makes it seem like you have to go, you know, even though he didn't really issue a subpoena or anything like that. It was more so a request. he has her go on the stand, and he tries to like trip up her brain and make her think that Tasha was the big hitman or the person who was behind the big hit for her sister. But Davis was good enough for the backside, because Davis made sure that he ended up flipping everything and when he cross-examined her. So it got everything back on track, you know? But Tariq, he was definitely being Mr. Smooth with the ladies in this episode, because, you know, you see how now he know for sure that, what's her name, Lauren is feeling him. Obviously, she even broke up with her boyfriend for him. But then also Diana is feeling him as well, which we of course knew. And he ends up telling her, like, you know, yeah, I'm feeling you too, but, you know, I couldn't really say nothing at the school because you never know who's watching, so you kind of have to be careful. And he told her that he does have feelings for her. So, you know, she's a ray of sunshine right now. She's super happy. And this was like when they was at the drop, but they was downstairs while the mother was handling business upstairs, trying to, you know, do her negotiations. But the dude that she was negotiating with, he was acting mad weird. Like, and he was acting like he ain't know who Monet Tejada was. Like, hold up, wait a minute. She gonna have to show you real quick. He was dead trying to, like, run up on her. Like, she was like, oh, nah. But the good thing about it is that even though downstairs, Diana and Tariq were kind of like, you know, having their little moment and ended up kissing, when they heard a little hustle and bustle and tussle going on upstairs, Tariq went upstairs, and that caused a distraction that allowed Monet to be able to shoot him out. So right there was like, you know, it's almost like he saved her. And the reason why it had to go down like that is because her muscle man wasn't there. Her muscle man would have, of course, been her son, but he got locked up for doing dumb stuff. He's lucky that the police officer actually gave him an alibi and got him out. But he also kind of put it into the police officer's head that Tariq is now kind of there in the picture. He doesn't need him, and she doesn't need him anymore like that. Like, I feel like he thinks he's being replaced. And now he's trying to put that in the Spanish dude's head, the officer. So now he's going to start looking at Tariq funny and maybe trying to, like, set him up or something. Because now he's going to be scared that his position is going to be in jeopardy or something like that. You feel me? So, I don't know. We definitely want to see. What y'all think about that? Like, I feel like, I don't know. Tariq, he better watch his back, because everybody's out to get him at this point. Everybody. And I feel like Jabari, he's still, like, he's out to get him. Davis is out to get him. Sax is out to get him. Riley's out to get him. It's like a little bit of everybody. And once Lauren and Diana find out that he's playing both of them, they gonna be out to get him too. Like, he kind of played Lauren out, though, when she was in his room trying to, like, let him know that she's no longer with oh boy, and then he kind of like was real funny style to her, but he just did that because he had like the blood from the shooting with the guy from the whole drop situation. He had that blood, and obviously if she would have took off his clothes, it'd have been like, okay, a lot of explaining to do. So he had to think quick. It's crazy how he has to, like, kind of, you know, make enemies while he's trying to do the right thing and protect people and also protect himself and his privacy and his secrets. It's like so many lies after lies that you can't really establish real true relationships and friendships because you have to lie so much on top of lies on top of lies. But yeah, you guys, crazy episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens in the future episodes, and make sure you comment, and I'll see y'all on the next one.